Today we're focusing on ocular medication administration and the clinical principles that determine whether eye medications actually work. Understanding ocular pharmacology is critical because the eye has multiple protective barriers that limit drug penetration. As nurses, we need to know not only what medication we're giving, but how the route, formulation, and administration technique affect absorption, therapeutic response, and patient safety. We'll cover pharmacokinetics, major ocular medication classes, administration protocols, and the key nursing interventions that improve outcomes and reduce complications. This slide explains why ocular medications are often less effective than people expect. The conjunctival sac can only hold a limited volume, so when multiple drops are placed in the eye at once, excess medication is immediately lost through overflow and drainage. Tearing, blinking, and the blood-ocular barrier further reduce drug absorption. The cornea itself also acts as a major protective barrier with multiple tissue layers limiting penetration. Nursing implication: administer only one drop at a time and wait the recommended interval between medications to maximize absorption and reduce waste. This slide highlights how ocular medications distribute through eye tissues based on whether the drug is hydrophilic or lipophilic. Hydrophilic drugs move through intracellular diffusion and tend to travel through structures like the cornea, lens, and iris. Lipophilic drugs move through intercellular diffusion and penetrate tissues such as the conjunctiva, ciliary body, and choroid more effectively. One major clinical point for NCLEX in practice is that topical eye drops rarely reach the retina adequately. That's why posterior eye disorders often require direct injections, like intravitreal therapy, instead of standard drops. This slide compares the major ocular medication delivery methods. Aqueous solutions, or eye drops, are the most common because they're inexpensive and cause minimal vision interference, but they're quickly diluted by tears. Ointments stay in contact with the eye longer and provide higher local drug concentration, although they temporarily blur vision. For deeper or posterior eye disorders, injections like subconjunctival or intravitreal therapies are often required because topical medications cannot adequately penetrate the posterior chamber. Preservatives like benzalkonium chloride help prevent microbial growth in multi-use eye drop bottles and can improve corneal drug penetration. However, repeated exposure may cause irritation, allergic reactions, and ocular surface damage, especially in patients using frequent long-term therapy like glaucoma drops. That's why preservative-free formulations are often preferred for sensitive patients or high-frequency regimens. Nursing implication: monitor for redness, burning, dryness, or worsening irritation during chronic ocular therapy. Topical anesthetics such as proparacaine and tetracaine are used before eye procedures because they work rapidly, usually within seconds to 1 minute. Their effects typically wear off within 10 to 20 minutes. The major nursing concern is patient safety after administration. Because corneal sensation and blink reflex are temporarily suppressed, patients must be instructed not to rub or touch their eyes due to the high risk of corneal abrasion or injury. Mydriatics dilate the pupil, while cycloplegics paralyze the iris sphincter and ciliary muscle to maintain dilation and prevent accommodation. These medications are commonly combined during eye exams and surgical procedures. Shared side effects include glare, blurred near vision, and possible CNS effects, particularly in pediatric and older adult patients. One critical safety point is that these medications are contraindicated in patients with narrow-angle glaucoma because they can precipitate acute angle closure glaucoma. This slide compares how long common mydriatic and cycloplegic agents last. Phenylephrine produces short-term dilation only, while stronger agents like atropine can keep the pupil dilated and accommodation paralyzed for days. Cyclopentolate and homatropine are commonly used for shorter diagnostic or therapeutic windows, whereas atropine is reserved for prolonged effects. Nursing implication: educate patients that blurred vision, glare sensitivity, and impaired near vision may persist well beyond the procedure, depending on the medication used. Glaucoma therapy focuses on lowering intraocular pressure, either by decreasing aqueous humor production or increasing aqueous outflow. Because glaucoma treatment is lifelong, patient education and medication adherence are critical to preventing progressive vision loss. Ocular infections are treated based on the organism involved using antibiotics, antifungals, or antivirals. Nursing priorities include monitoring for side effects, reinforcing compliance, and teaching patients to complete the full treatment regimen. Topical corticosteroids are powerful anti-inflammatory agents used for serious ocular inflammation, but they carry significant long-term risks including glaucoma, cataracts, delayed healing, and secondary infection. NSAIDs provide a safer alternative for many postoperative inflammatory conditions without the same degree of intraocular pressure elevation. Patients should be taught to shake suspension drops before administration to ensure proper dosing. Nursing implication: monitor closely for steroid complications and reinforce follow-up eye examinations. This slide reviews supportive therapies used to protect and stabilize the ocular surface. Anti-allergy medications target allergic conjunctivitis and hypersensitivity reactions, while ocular irrigants are used for debris removal, pH restoration, and chemical exposures. Lubricants such as artificial tears help manage dry eye and corneal irritation and may be used frequently based on symptoms. Nursing priority: avoid irrigation if globe perforation is suspected, and teach patients proper use and frequency of lubricating therapies. This slide outlines the core protocol for safe ocular medication administration. Begin with strict hand hygiene and never allow the bottle tip to touch the eye to prevent contamination. Only one drop should be instilled at a time, because excess medication simply overflows the conjunctival sac. Separate different eye medications by at least 5 minutes to prevent washout, and always educate patients about temporary burning, stinging, or blurred vision before administration. Punctal occlusion is an important technique that blocks medication drainage into the nasolacrimal duct, reducing systemic absorption and side effects. Refrigerating eye drops can help patients feel when the drop successfully reaches the eye, improving adherence and confidence with self-administration. Infection control remains critical, including recapping bottles immediately and reinforcing return demonstrations with patients or caregivers. Nursing implication: proper technique directly affects both medication effectiveness and patient safety. This final framework ties together the 3 pillars of effective ocular therapy: pharmacokinetics, ocular limitations, and nursing execution. Nurses must understand how formulation choice, anatomical barriers, and administration technique all influence therapeutic concentration at the target site. Even the best medication can fail if spacing, infection control, or punctal occlusion techniques are ignored. The key takeaway is that successful ocular therapy depends just as much on precise nursing administration as it does on the drug itself. This lecture emphasized that successful ocular medication therapy depends on understanding both anatomy and technique. The eye has major absorption barriers, including limited conjunctival sac capacity, tearing, blinking, drainage, and the multilayer corneal membrane, all of which reduce drug penetration. Nurses improve medication effectiveness by using proper sterile technique, spacing drops by at least 5 minutes, and performing punctal occlusion to reduce systemic absorption. The key takeaway is that precision in administration directly impacts therapeutic success, patient safety, and long-term vision outcomes.